Esa virgen queda aquí en la parte de abajo del poblado de la Guacatala. Esa virgen lleva muchísimos años ahí y es llamada por la virgen de los sicarios, porque las autoridades detuvieron a muchos sicarios ahí y venía mucho narcotraficante. De que venían los sicarios y virgencita, tengo un trabajo tras un asesinato, que todos se los pegue en la cabeza, que no vaya a quedar vivo, que no me coja la policía, que si salgo adelante con el trabajo, que si corono, vengo y te regalo un melón. Entonces también iba a un narcotraficante, virgencita, llevo 1000 kilos, lo llevo por el Golfo de México, voy en avión, voy por acá, voy por tal lado. Protégeme que si corono, te hago una capilla en mi finca.
Hey, ¿qué más, parceros? Estoy aquí en Medellin. We're here in Medellin. I'm back, and I'm here in El Poblado. As y'all can see, the Santa Fe Mall right behind me. Right here, La Avenida El Poblado. And I'm here today because I want to show y'all a special place here in Medellin. A mysterious place filled with mystery and mysticism and all type of legends and miracles. And that is el Santuario de la Virgen de la Rosa Mística. Bueno, la Virgen de la Rosa Mística is a famous statue of the Virgin Mary here in the beautiful city of Medellin. And basically any paisa from Medellin knows about that virgin. That virgin is known because she's alleged to have fulfilled many people's requests, to have made miracles happen. They come to ask her to help a family member cure from a disease, or a loved one, a friend, or even themselves. Some people asked her for help for their baby to be born, to not have a miscarriage, to get to the other side of the border, to go to the USA, and anything you could think of. So La Virgen is right down here on La Avenida del Poblado, on the side that comes from Envigado, so south going north. So let's talk a little bit about the backstory of this virgin. When you start to do research, you realize that it's not so easy to find out the history of this Virgin Mary, of how she got there, because there's different versions to it. There's different versions to it. There's different theories. The theory that I found most is that, well, El Poblado used to be like a countryside. It used to be farms and, you know, countryside. So people, as they do in the campo still to this day, they give a piece of their land to make a sanctuary, an altar to the Virgin Mary. She was originally placed on someone's farm around this area, and the statue was stolen. Then she was moved to the place where she currently is today, and that was roughly 100 years ago, like in the 1920s, 30s, more or less, according to the theories. And there she is right here. You can see the altar. There's always people there, no matter what time you go. One of the most popular name is La Rosa Mística, but she's also known as La Virgen de la Guacatala because of a creek. There's a creek somewhere, I actually don't know where it is, but that's the name of this creek and the name of this area, La Guacatala. Another name is La Virgen Nocturna, the nocturnal virgin, because people are there at any time of day or night. If you go at the crack of dawn, in the middle of the night, early in the morning, there will be people here lighting candles and praying to her. It's always people coming and going. So that's the second name. The third name, and the most controversial, is La Virgen de los Sicarios. Now, for those of y'all that don't know what the term sicario means, here in Colombia, it translates to English as an assassin for hire. And the sicario culture really came from the time of the Narcos. It really came from Pablo Escobar, when he went up into the barrios, he went up into the hoods to find kids who were in vulnerable situations, who, you know, didn't have a lot of money, didn't have support from their family. Pablo had his recruiters, right? He had his soldiers that would go recruit up in the comunas, in the hoods. They would give the kids new sneakers, new clothes, new whatever. Basically, give them a option, give them a way. Look, if you do this and this for me, you'll get some good money, and they would pay them well. So obviously, these kids were gonna do what they had to do, or do what they thought they had to do. And, you know, their loyalty was bought with money and with clothes and with those things. So everyone in Colombia, rich or poor, not everyone, but a lot of people are very devout to the Virgin. Each Virgin has a different meaning in some type of way. So La Rosa Mística, the one here, is one that you ask for protection and for miracles. So the sicarios were poor people who were, you know, devoted to the Virgin to help them always, to get through their struggles of life. But when they started killing people, when they started carrying out these missions, they asked the Virgin, Virgencita, por favor, que todas las balas le lleguen a la cabeza. May all of the bullets get to my enemy's head. Protect me from any harm. And it became known as that. Like, so many of the sicarios and narcos came here that it literally became known as La Virgen de los Sicarios. And there was narcos and people who were wanted by the police who were caught here because they would come so much. And there's a legend that says that Pablo Escobar himself was a regular visitor of this Virgin, because he had his building nearby, El Edificio Monaco, which is the building that he owned. So, you know, it makes sense that he would have came here. And, you know, we all know that Pablo was a religious man. ¿Ah? ¿Qué más? ¿Qué le pasó ahí, hermano?
Soy chef, llevo un mes sin trabajo porque...
¿Eres un chef?
Soy chef de cocina, sí. No he podido trabajar en cocina, me caí, me accidenté y se me infectó el sol demasiado. No he almorzado ni desayunado, tengo que recoger casi 70.000 pesos de antibióticos, llevo 6.000 pesos.
¿Es una quemadura o qué?
No, un raspón y me infectó eso.
¿Pero se cayó en una moto o qué?
No, es que está muy mal porque llevo casi una semana sin poder comprar los medicamentos. Solo uno me vale 70 y estoy tomando 3. Hoy estoy sin desayunar.
¿Pero has ido al hospital?
Sí, estuve en la María de Castilla 2 días, me hicieron limpieza, pero que por fuera, y me toca comprarlos a mí porque estaba sin Silven, ya puse tutela, todo.
Okay.
Pero pues hoy no tengo nada ni con qué almorzar, hago 20.000 limpiezas diarias, seguía eso y me tocó caminar a pedir ayuda a la gente.
Ah, pues yo le ayudo con alguitos, no es que tenga mucho tampoco, parcero, pero no es mucho, pero es algo. Bueno, que se mejore, cuídese de eso, es delicado.
Oye, pues, la oración a la Virgen a ver si le ayuda a uno también.
Sí. ¿Usted visita mucho a la Virgen o no?
No, pasé por causalidad y...
Ay, para que te ayude. Bueno, ojalá. Espero que te salga todo bien, hermano, de verdad. Holy shit. I might have to censor out his wound. That was just a bad wound. I saw him lurking behind me. I wasn't sure what his intentions were, but oh my god. So he went to the Virgin to see if she would help him heal his wound. A lot of times when you come here, you'll see people crying. You'll see people who look stressed. You'll see people who are going through something difficult in their life, and they come here to ask her to help them get out of it. So these here are all the plaques of people who have received favors from her, of people who have received miracles. En agradecimiento a la Rosa Mística por la sanación y la liberación de Cristian Camilo Castro Giraldo, por estar a mi lado en estos momentos, por dar fortaleza y paz. Gracias por esta nueva oportunidad de vida. Nunca olvidaré que respondiste a mi llamado. Look, so most of them just say thank you for the favors received, thank you for the miracle. But for example, this one says gracias Virgencita por hacer realidad el trasplante. So this lady probably needed a transplant of some organ or something like that, and it's giving thanks because, you know, she was able to get the transplant. Look, it even goes over here. And you can see up at the top, the plaques that are at the top are burnt. They're burnt and charred. That's because there was a fire here. Since there's always candles lit, one day there was a fire and this whole thing set on fire, and the Virgin, the statue of the Virgin, was completely safe. Nothing happened to it. And, you know, obviously that even boosted people's belief in her powers. Quiero darte gracias por concederme mis sueños, por regalarme a mi princesa Salomé.
sobre la historia de la Virgen hay un cuento, o sea...
Que hay muchas teorías, ¿cierto? De
Sí.
cómo llegó aquí.
Mano, yo he mirado las páginas de internet, cronológicamente no me cuadra. Entonces yo he terminado por creer lo que me han contado acá las viejitas, bueno,
las
¿cómo dice?
viejitas.
Las abuelitas.
Las que vienen mucho tiempo,
Sí,
desde
la
hace
abuelita,
mucho tiempo.
Eso se llama tradición oral, ¿sí me
Sí.
entiende? Cuentan las abuelitas
Ajá.
que la mamá les contaba, a la abuela no les tocó, que esta virgencita estaba por allá, por acá hay una quebrada, en esta parte pasó una quebrada, en ese sector de la Guacatala, y que estaba dentro de una finca, pero la gente iba libremente a visitarla. Cuentan las abuelitas que desde hace, sí, más o menos para ahí 80 años, había un muro muy grande lleno de placas, o sea que los milagros no son desde hace 20 años ni 15,
Hace
desde
mucho.
siempre, desde
Sí.
siempre este ha sido un lugar sagrado.
Ujú.
Y ya, es lo que ves hoy, el sitio ha sido reformado, pero ahí está.
Sí.
Yo soy el encargado de hacer el aseo a la Virgen.
Ah, ok. ¿Y por qué crees que es tan importante esta Virgen para la gente acá en Medellín?
Ay, hermano, esa pregunta. La gente busca a Dios,
Ujú.
pues, ¿cierto?
Sí.
Y este es un lugar muy particular porque tiene historia, porque las placas que hay en este lugar hablan de milagros,
Ujú.
hablan de favores, hablan de soluciones divinas, digámoslo así. O sea, la gente busca, es el milagro. El milagro está en el inconsciente de la gente, el inconsciente colectivo, ¿no? Andaban de la rosa mística, que ella me hizo un favor muy grande hace tanto tiempo.
Sí.
Y hace algún tiempo la Virgencita se la iban a llevar.
Que la quería mover, ¿cierto?
Sí, la querían mover. Yo entendería que la alcaldía pues quería como ahorrarse una platica para no hacer el lugar, sino retirar la Virgen y que se la llevaran para la parroquia. Una de las razones por las cuales se hizo la firma, la recolección de miles de firmas, es que las parroquias se mantienen cerradas. En cambio, usted aquí llega a las 2 de la mañana, a las 5 de la mañana, a las 2 de la tarde, a la hora que quiera, y esto
Hay gente.
hay gente,
Sí.
o está abierto, mejor dicho,
Ajá.
dependiendo de si hay gente o no. Usted se puede sentar tranquilito, se puede quedar 2, 3, 10 horas, las horas que necesite, no hay problema, la reina lo atiende, lo escucha, digámoslo así, uno se desahoga, entrega, recibe. Hay gente que viene muy triste y empieza a venir, y cuando ya los días ya la gente se va, me dice, no, es que este lugar me trae mucha paz,
Ujú.
me trae alegría, yo me voy distinto. Definitivamente la conclusión es, acá está Dios, aquí está Jesús y está la Reina María intercediendo por todos.
We talked to El Señor Ivan. He told us a little bit about what the old ladies have told him. Because like I told y'all in the beginning of the video, the history or the origins of this virgin are not very clear. But what is clear is that people have personally experienced miracles by this virgin from things they've asked. And I mean, obviously I didn't ask him about the sicarios because it's like, you know, a little controversial. I didn't want to put that topic in there. It was a bit uncomfortable, you feel me? I'm sure y'all would understand that. she didn't get that nickname, La Virgen de los Sicarios, for no reason. You know, she got it because the Sicarios would go there and they felt that the Virgin would protect them and would help them, even with murders. So, real quick before we end the video, I want to mention Popeye. That's the voice that you heard at the beginning of the video. So Popeye, or Pope, as they called it, as Pablo used to call him. Pablo used to call him Pope. His real name was John Jairo Velázquez Vázquez, and he was basically the leader of all of the army of Sicarios under Pablo Escobar. Feel me? Like, he was in charge of everyone. He was like the general. I don't know what exactly they got him in prison for, but he only did like 25 years or 23 years. Even though he was involved in literally thousands of homicides. Literally, like, not even exaggerating. But when he got out of jail, he started a YouTube channel, bro. And in that YouTube channel, he started talking about everything he'd been through with Pablo, with certain things that obviously he couldn't talk about, but he talked about a lot of things that he went through that people wanted to know. And he blew up on YouTube. They even made a little mini-series about him on Netflix. It's called Surviving Pablo Escobar, I think that's what it's called. It's about him when he was in jail, surviving. And he talks about that too a lot. When he was in jail, since he was, you know, Pablo's like right-hand man, he had to protect himself because Pablo had a lot of enemies. And in jail, it was no different. All the enemies was in there, the guerrilla, the paramilitaries, other narcos. So he was very intelligent, streetwise. The fact that he survived all those years in jail, having so many enemies and people wanting him dead. But yeah, he talks about all that, talks about those stories. And there's one video where he talks about La Virgen. And there's another Virgen in Sabaneta that the Sicarios would go to as well. Popeye, controversial person. A lot of people, when they would see him in the street here in Medellin, they would ask him for an autograph or ask him for a picture. And then some people, like, there's a famous clip of him getting heckled by this woman. Muy feliz usted, hijo de puta, con toda la gente que mató. Like, oh, you really happy, motherfucker, with all the people you killed, right? You know, it's not he had a lot of victims, man, and obviously a lot of the people who he killed have people, loved ones, family members who are still alive. Feel me? So in the end, he got involved with crime apparently, and he went back in jail, and he actually got throat cancer in jail, and he died in jail. So let's read the prayer. It's really small font. Oh María Rosa Mística, Madre Jesús y también Madre nuestra, tú eres nuestra esperanza, nuestra fortaleza y nuestro consuelo. Danos desde el cielo tu maternal bendición en el nombre del Padre, el Hijo y el Espíritu Santo. Amén. Anyway, I'm here in Santa Fe, where all the gringos is at. And I hope y'all enjoyed that video. I hope y'all found it interesting. Hope y'all learned something new. And I'm gonna catch y'all in the next one. All right, peace out, guys.